generate more basket value than actual humans selling you something. And
I think here is something like between 25 and 30% higher.
They're still very, very important because it actually brings the highest revenue.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our second webinar. My name's Oliver, and today we're kicking back with our friends at Jonoton for a laid-back chat about omnichannel POS reporting and analytics. Join us for an exciting case study about Norway's largest theme park. See how they've integrated omnichannel strategies to enhance their operations. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome everyone to this webinar together with Jonoton, and we're going to be chatting about omnichannel and all that fun stuff with these two guys here. So please introduce yourself. We can start with Atte.
Hi all, my name is Atte Knivel. I come from Jonoton, commercial director there, meaning that it's sales and also reseller management. Been in the company for 5.5 years now. And actually, one of the first clients that we got when I entered the company was Dyreparken, and we're going to talk more about that today.
Very nice. All right. Thank you, Atte. Dyreparken, yeah, it's an interesting case. We're going to delve deeper into that soon, but please introduce yourself, Sasa, and what do you do, and who are you?
Yeah, Sasa Moilanen from Zoid, and I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Zoid. Actually have been working for a long time now with this Jonoton guy, and I was also quite heavily involved in this interesting Dyreparken case, and we will take a look at that further. But yeah, we can maybe just briefly mention that the kind of whole background for this cooperation is that we are both kind of best of breed solutions for certain areas. So Jonoton on the omnichannel POS side and omnichannel hospitality system side, I guess that's the correct term, and then Zoid being the best of breed tool for reporting and analytics, and especially for retail and hospitality industries. So that's kind of the background why we are here together.
Beautiful. Thank you, Aaron. That's a very good introduction, and maybe we shall get more deeper into it now. So you now know the guys here. But we can maybe talk about Jonoton. What is Jonoton, for maybe just a basic introduction from maybe someone who's not that sure what Jonoton are. So please introduce Jonoton.
Yeah, so Jonoton, we were actually founded 2015 at the end of the year, but we started off as a sports hospitality platform. We had our own branded application, and people were allowed to order food and beverages with the application for the half times of matches of football and hockey and so forth. But that we did a spin-off from that, or like we changed our course from that 2019. That was also the year when I came to the company as well, and we focused after that heavily on hospitality and being white label and everything, because before that we were Jonoton as a brand, and now we are on the background, and usually consumers don't know anything about us, which is absolutely fine. But what is Jonoton nowadays is that we still have the application, but it's branded for our beloved customers, but we also have point of sale system, self-service kiosk, web shop, inventory management system. We also do some ticketing, so it's grown as a full-blown omnichannel platform for hospitality and mostly for restaurants. However, on the theme park side, it's quite funny because we also we had the ticketing and all that stuff as well, and on the theme park everything kind of comes together the best way, because if we are just in the restaurant then it's just selling food, but in theme park environment, we can pretty much show everything what we got. So that's kind of a nice topic for today as well, to talk about Dyreparken.
Yeah, and that kind of ties into our case as well. That Dyreparken is a really nice use case because we can also kind of there really show the value of Zoid, as we have a lot of different data sources integrated into our reporting platform. So we will take a look at soon also some examples, for example, for workforce management and visitor data being integrated together with all the omnichannel sales data that comes from Jonoton.
Yeah.
So we should take a look at those.
Yeah, we will, and it's great introduction. You see that now, but how does Soin tie into this now? Maybe more directly, like what does Soin do with the Jonoton data that they do at the point of sale level, and what does it do with it? Like the sales data you mentioned, like, but can you maybe delve a bit deeper into what you can do with Soin? What are the potential with Soin?
Yeah, I mean, the value of Soin is basically related to really having that one version of truth available in the organization. So Soin basically has a cloud-based data warehouse where we gather all the data from these relevant systems that the customer uses, like in this case from Jonoton, and then from some other business systems Dörrparken is using in this specific case. And then we have a business intelligence platform, basically, so all the reporting and dashboarding capabilities, and also we support self-service BI. So basically users can from scratch kind of ad hoc create their own reports and dashboards and share them in the organization and so on. So the value comes from really being able to share all that information in the organization and basically have those actionable insights available and even near real time. So the cool thing about working together with Jonoton is that Jonoton pushes all the data to Soin near real time through the Soin API, so the customer always has kind of the latest data on their fingertips, so they can follow how different campaigns start performing during the day and so on.
Nice. That's really good. Yeah. A good introduction from both of these guys. We may now, let's take a bit of a brief break. We can maybe insert the video of Jonoton and transition more into Dörrparken now as the example we're going to talk about. So here's the video.
Okay, actually, Dörrparken was very kind to let us actually use the portal here in the demo. We are showing May data here now and basically comparing against previous year May. And in some of these examples, we also show some individual days in the May month. But you get the idea of how this would normally be used in Dörrparken to kind of steer their business. And what we see here in this example is a sales dashboard from last month. And we are also here highlighting now the omnichannel part. We will take a look at how, for example, the KPIs differ when it comes to, for example, the application purchases. But maybe first just run through this dashboard idea a bit, so you can see a bit of mix of languages here now, but don't need to worry about that. For example, in the top left, we have now sales without VAT for last month, so about 14 million, and we can easily see the change then to May previous year. Okay, so when using these dashboards, it's also very easy to drill down deeper into the details. So for example, by clicking the little arrow here, we can go into looking at, for example, different product categories or tags here. And when clicking on one, for example, the food, the first one there, we can see individual products, how those are being sold. Or we can just go back and select some other drill down path here. But basically, it's totally up to the business users what kind of KPIs or metrics to select in these dashboards. And here, this one is now focused on sales and this is focused on the omnichannel split. So we can see some interesting figures here. So closing now maybe this one and looking at what we have here. So we have the sales and number of orders, and then also the split between the different channels. So if we scroll down this view a bit more, like here, so then we see, for example, here now 4 snippets. On the left side, we have first these transactions in the actual Jonoton app, and next to it, we see the average purchase value of those kind of purchases. And then underneath, we have the rows about transactions in the actual cash register, and then what the average purchase value here has been. And this is actually quite interesting. And what I have heard from Atte Jonoton previously, that this actually looks pretty similar for many of your other customers as well.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, this is kind of this is not good for humanity that the actual automated self-service kiosks and applications and workshops, they generate more basket value than actual humans selling you something. And as you can see over here, the basket value is tragically bigger in the application than what it is in the point of sale system, so roughly 30%. And this is kind of, obviously it's good for us as an omnichannel platform to tell people that this is how it goes, and it always goes like this. Doesn't matter if it's application or if it's self-service kiosk or if it's web shop, this always happens. And some people don't believe it, but now you can see it. You get the numbers. But
yeah, I think here is something like between 25 and 30% higher average percentage value.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the reason for that?
Well, there are many reasons. The most are psychological reasons. One is that you don't dare. So if you go to a cash register and there's a huge line behind you, and you don't, everybody knows what I mean. You don't start shopping there. Yeah. You need to know what you need to get. Yeah. But if you have your own privacy and you can browse around, then you have more time. And then another thing is that the people who are behind the counter, they don't dare to upsell you because they feel ashamed saying that would you like to have an upgrade on your price. But the kiosk or the application, they don't have any shame. They just blasted everything to you. And this is obviously Virapak, and we're talking about fast food case here. Then obviously there are different use cases on different organizations when they don't want to upsell because they want to make the self-service experience as fast as possible as well. So we actually have 2 different flows. We have the fast flow and then we have the slow flow. And that the slow flow is actually used here because we try to upsell you all the time. But in the fast flow, we just want to have, for example, a self-service kiosk, we just want to have one product and everybody buys it in 1 second. And now then the line goes really fast, thus name the Jonoton.
Yeah. And this must increase the customer satisfaction as well. I mean, the actual end user using the app, at least I would imagine that that's a kind of much nicer way often for many people to do it.
Obviously, yes. And another thing, obviously, is that if you are on the point of sale system, you'll be anonymous. But if you're using application, or if you're using self-service kiosk and you identify yourself by scanning your application to the kiosk, then we know who you are. We know we probably want to recommend you something, and you might have some loyalty stuff going on, some stamp cards, whatever. And then that comes to play as well, and then that increases the basket value as well. So basically, even though you can see on the numbers over here that the application transactions are lower as like absolute figure, they're still very, very important because it actually brings the highest revenue.
Yeah. And actually, from the kind of analytics and business intelligence point of view, this is really interesting, of course, because you identify the actual customer.
Yeah.
And then it brings all kind of opportunities for businesses to really understand like repeat purchase rate of different customers and their loyalty and like this recency and frequency and those kind of like patterns in the customer behavior. So traditionally in this business, it's been quite rare that you kind of really know who is shopping there.
Yeah, especially if you actually know some demographics of that person, that age and gender and all that stuff. That would be really, really cool to actually have that analytics there.
Yeah.
And actually we do.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of customers nowadays are requesting more and more, really, to understand the kind of customer journey and
Exactly.
know what kind of like also marketing works for different kind of customer segments.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, this is one example of those like some sales metrics gathered, but we could maybe take a look at another dashboard, which is an example that I mentioned that we provide the near real-time data. In this example now we are still using the May as an example, but obviously in real life, Dyreparken would normally follow the exact today, but here just to show what kind of like operational daily dashboards can be used, we are looking at here now the 19th of May, kind of how much have we sold, what has the target been, and also then important here in this view is that basically what Zoin can provide customers is this real kind of like a performance management platform. So it's of course not enough just to kind of take a look at the actuals and what things were previous year, but I mean you need to have typically some targets and budgets for your business, and in Zoin you can very easily input your, for example, sales targets as we see here, and then you can during the day monitor whether you are meeting those or not. And if you scroll down this dashboard a bit more, I think we have some like examples here. For example, during that one selected week in May, what the sales actually was and how it was against the target. And then if you still scroll down a bit further, you can see different kind of like views on this topic. So which were the most sold products and how many pieces they were sold and so on. And then going further down, we can see some examples of like also cost sales ratio percentages and their targets. And also we are looking at waste here. So that's obviously one important point, that how to optimize kind of or minimize rather the amount of waste in this kind of business. But yeah, if we still scroll down a bit more, we also have some productivity related metrics here. And again, these are one of the key areas obviously in this kind of business. So if we look at, for example, this on the right side, the productivity chart. So as I mentioned, Zoin, for example, in case of Dyreparken, integrates actually with many business systems the customer is using, including their working hours and costs related data. So here automatically then in Zoin you can have this like efficiency and productivity metrics like sales per working hour. And again, also for those metrics, it's easy to set targets as well. So here we are looking at now, for example, for these 7 days, what kind of sales per working hour we have had and what the target has been. And also we are looking at working hours and their target. So in this specific case, the actuals of the working hours have been quite a lot higher than the targets. But yeah, I guess we could then when we are talking about these different data sources, maybe jump from here into looking at the visitor data as well.
Yeah, that's really another business system they integrated with. And then you can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you see how many guests are coming in per day. We're still using the same example of the 19th of May. And they have separated the Dyreparken and Badelandet, which is a separate swimming center in the park itself. But yeah, you can see here very easily, like how many people are coming in, what's the budget, what's the targets, and how many per hour, the pressures of how many people are coming in per hour. You can see compared to last year, 150% more than last year. That's insane. The weather must be good or stuff like this, you know. So you can really see the consumer behavior here, how people are. Yeah. But yeah, continue. This is fascinating.
Yeah. It's basically very important, of course, for this kind of like a theme park to really know exactly how many people are coming in at different hours and be able to kind of have the right capacity available and right amount of people working. And of course, weather has a big impact on that. So it actually does support also showing the weather. It's not included in this specific example, but we do have the weather data integrated in Zone as well for those who want to have it available as reference. Yeah, I guess this is like a very quick view on the different dashboards where you see kind of the basic sales data and working hours data and costs and visitors data. We could maybe take a look at still one of the heat maps we had here as an example. So just to show a bit of different kind of way also how to very quickly pinpoint things in a heat map. So here we are looking at now number of orders in May, and then we have here on the x-axis the different days for that in that month, and then we have the hourly level split, so we can very easily see how many
if it's hundreds, yeah,
how many orders have.
And when it comes to this heat map, Dyreparken is heavily using what we call a feature called time slots. And the reason of the time slot is to even out those peak hours. And how it goes that, kitchen determines that how many portions of food they can deliver per 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever the time frame is. And then there's a certain limit for that. And then people start to order themselves, self-service or at the point of sale, but all the orders, they go to a specific time slot. And that way the customer will know when the food is ready because they know it beforehand. For example, if I go to my application, I want to order a burger meal, and then the application tells me that, okay, the first available time slot is in 45 minutes. So then I know that my burger is ready for 45 minutes, which is much better than going to the cash register and then waiting for 45.
Exactly.
And that way, I can spend more and, the park is happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the know of when you get it, you don't have to wait for an hour and it's going to be more delayed. So you can, you can see it.
And another thing, what they do heavily as well is that they promote this, that you would do your itinerary like day before. So you would, order your food already the day before. And then, for example, the time slots are not full yet because you order it the day before. And so then you can eat your lunch at 12:30 like everybody else. But if you do it the same day, then probably you need to eat at 2:30 because the busy hours were already full.
Well, yeah, you can see like the weekends are really busy. So if you book the day before, you guaranteed you get your food. So
exactly.
Yeah, very good.
And there's also a possibility to have some dynamic pricing based on this as well. Dyreparken is not using it, but that way you can also even out the peak hours.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Maybe if coming back to the omnichannel topic, I mean, what do you currently see among your customer base being the kind of hit things or what people really are looking for at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest hit or unique selling point, what we try to promote at least, is that we are like a one-stop shop for all the sales channels you need. Because usually, obviously, there's been point-of-sale systems, there's been self-service kiosks and applications and web shops around for 25 years. But then getting everything from one place and then having only one back office to make your promotions and put your products in and having your data in one place as well is rather new. And that is probably like the biggest thing. Obviously, there are lots of customers who only use one channel, but I think the biggest benefit what we can give is that when you go to like in the matrix, you take the blue pill or red pill, it's kind of like you need to go all the way here, so then that way you can have the most benefit.
Yeah. And is there something new happening now this summer season at Dyreparken when it comes to Jonoton?
Well, we are launching our a la carte features on point of sales. That's not really omnichannel because in a la carte it's all about one-to-one like this, but nevertheless we're launching that. We already launched our a la carte on web shop, which is kind of funny that usually don't do that first, but we already had that for quite some time. So you can do a la carte orders in the table with your mobile, and then it goes to kitchen, and then the server brings it to you. So that's been there already, but now you can also do that with the regular point of sale systems, and that's going to be in use in Dyreparken as well, but obviously in other places.
Yeah, that will be really, really cool to see that one being launched now.
Yeah,
but I mean, definitely Dyreparken is one of these like a really nice cases where kind of the value from both of our systems is brought to life in that way, so that we can really help the customer analyze their business and plan their business better. Like we check those examples of targets and so on. So I think the whole like performance management oriented culture in this industry is increasing. I've seen in the recent years that people really want to do it properly, like plan their business and kind of follow the metrics and have responsibility for different metrics in the organization and so on. I mean, if thinking about the kind of how we work together, I mean, what would you see as the kind of value to the customer when they take Jonoton into use? Why do they need Zoint as well there?
Why do we work together?
I mean, we are kind of like what they say, peach and carrots.
Oh.
So I mean, we have the sales channels, and you have the nice way to visualize the data out there. Then we have a bunch of data. I mean, a whole bunch of data. But we don't really have a nice way to present it, and that's when you come along. And basically, pretty much all of our customers use both of us. So it's been a good relationship, and also a big shout out to our customers, especially Dyreparken, because they've been really like a front runner on this, and it's really nice to have a customer like that because everybody looks up to them. And they want to take everything in use as a first mover as well. So I think this Dyreparken customer has helped us both quite a bit as well.
Yeah. And basically, quite often in this industry, there are not always like, let's say, everything ready with like a huge data warehouses and so on. So I think this kind of like solution we can offer together, like really have something working from day one with all the metrics ready and the data integration ready. That's a big like added bonus to a customer. So instead of like starting to do an own custom development business intelligence project, you can just take something into use that works right away, and then we can still provide all kind of like customization also where needed. For example, in case of Dyreparken, I think we have like here and there added a few new metrics that have been missing, and added some new features and functionality even. I mean, there's actually some of these dashboards, for example, are shared in those like screens at Dyreparken. So they are like automatically refreshing themselves on those screens.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, something that actually Dyreparken has been heavily requested from us at some point, or some changes into that functionality. So that's just a good example that you can take like a SaaS solution that's ready out of the box, and still, if there is some corner that where you want some custom things done, it's still possible.
Exactly with
a SaaS solution.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the webinar. If you found it interesting, give this a like and send us a message. If you still haven't got a clue who Zoint or Jonoton is, watch the following promo videos. Have a great summer.
Turn your raw data into actionable insights with Zoind Retail and Restaurant Analytics, the cloud-based business intelligence tool that's up and running in under 24 hours. With the trust of over 500 businesses worldwide, experience the difference with Zoind's intuitive user interface, making it a breeze for anyone in your organization to leverage data-driven decisions. Connect seamlessly with 50-plus business systems, unleashing a wealth of over 250 metrics and dashboards right out of the gate. Empower your team with intuitive self-service business intelligence. Effortlessly create custom reports and dashboards to ensure clarity and consistency across your organization. Zoind unlocks the potential for revenue growth and cost savings. Utilize reports and dashboards to enhance cross-sell, upsell campaigns, inventory availability, and turnover, all while gaining valuable insights into customer behavior and customer lifetime value. Identify underperforming products and ensure best sellers are always in stock, all while optimizing staff working hours, product assortment and pricing to reduce costs and ensure profitability. Stay informed with our popular automated email reports, keeping everyone informed and up to date. Access Zoind on any device with ease. Whether you're using a desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, all you need is an internet connection and a web browser. Try it free for 30 days to access actionable insights exactly when you need them. Zoind, act on facts.